My name's Callum Vale. The best goalkeeper I've seen for Aston Villa is definitely Martinez, and this is my story of the save. I always wanted to go and support Villa abroad. I went to Valencia actually in the August before the season, and only if I'd have done that, then that went off my bucket list. I've actually achieved something I've been wanting to do all my life. And if that didn't happen, even going to Legia Warsaw, the first game abroad in the Conference League, I would have completed everything I wanted to do supporting this club. I've watched us in the Premier League again, I did that. I've seen us play at Wembley, I did that. And to go and watch them in Europe is a real privilege, and I was just really happy that I got to do it 4 times that season. It was a very, very monumental thing for me.
From the Wednesday, travelling on the Eurostar, so easy, probably the easiest European journey I've done, even easier than Edinburgh against Hibs.
It was one of those ones that was very quick. I think it was altogether 45 minutes to get there and 45 to get back, but the drive, we had to go bloody past Brighton, if I remember, so the drive was awful, but we had a few stop-offs, as you do, and that just led to all the excitement, especially with the fact that it was a very short journey, and I'm just really excited and raring to go at this point. And we got there, we checked in. The hotel, by the way, was not very nice. It was right by the ground, but it wasn't that good. it really was like a bloody porter cabin. It wasn't that good, if I remember correctly. It was 6:30, so the night was only just starting really, and it was still a good atmosphere there and then. And we were just singing and just up for it, having a few beers as you normally do.
Watching Villa on a Thursday night. Blues are watching because they're fucking short.
We were at breakfast, we were having a coffee, and there was a lot of croissants actually. I think I had about 3 croissants that day. It was croissants, bread. I even think they had donuts, if I remember correctly. So we were having breakfast, and all of a sudden, we see this group of lads who we recognise. And it was only, from what I originally clocked, it was the guy that actually sat next to us at the Villa in the Holt End. And I'm thinking, what are the chances of that? That he's in our hotel, going to the exact same game in France, and it's the guy that sits right by us, literally next to me. It's quite bizarre, but it just made for a good atmosphere, you know. We met up with a load of the lads. We went down to the pub. We went the previous day. Everybody's in good spirits. Let's just hope we can get a win today and progress to the semis. Let's do it, everybody. A great atmosphere. I remember, if I remember, I think I had about 10 points that day. I was really up for it. I mean, it was good. It was really good. And we actually met up with some Lille fans, and I was just talking to them, and they go in a really French accent, "You have Martinez, don't you?" And I go, "Yeah." And he said, "We hate him." And I didn't realise what he meant by that. I thought, oh, he must have played for Lille and he's now playing for us and they hate him now, because at the time, even in the first leg, they were in for Martinez. Like, they had banners everywhere, just trying to slag him off and stuff like that. So I thought that he was one of their ex-players, not thinking that the reason they hated him was because of that save against France. And I thought, okay, now it makes so much sense. So about an hour later, we go in the ground and it's a good atmosphere again. And the Lille fans are already in the ground. I think it was just with an hour to go. So they were generating a really good atmosphere. They had flares and massive banners. It was really cool to see.
Emi Martinez is getting booed because of that World Cup winning save he made against France. Understandable if you're French.
Thought we could be in trouble, because as soon as match day comes around, the nerves really do kick in. But it really did make me a little bit apprehensive going into the game that this could be it if we lose it. And it was one of those games where quality won us that, and on any other day they could have easily won that game. So I was quite nervous going into it. It was quite scary. I went to Arsenal when we beat them the week before the game, actually.
I don't believe it! Oh my god! Wow!
Ultimately, Lille had everything to play for that day, and we got the job done. We did our bit. All they had to do was just hold on and defend, and it was going to be one of those games. It was going to be a counter-attack.
The game was awful for us in the 90 minutes.
And then eventually they score, and they were on top for the first 10 minutes of the game. So that goal was coming, and it seemed to be like an early wake-up call, really. The second half came around. It was just kind of a realisation of, shit, you know, they only have to score one goal to have a chance of winning the whole thing here, because from that first half, I didn't see any way that we were going to score, because I think, especially in the first 30 minutes, I think we grew into the game a bit, and then Matty Cash had a chance with about 5 minutes to go until the half time. So it was one of those where there was nothing really to the game. There was nothing to the game, and Lille had done what they had to do to be the superior side going into the second half. And when I saw that header going in off the post from Andre to put Lille into the lead, I thought, that's it now. All of a sudden we go forward, and Duran actually has a bit of a collision with the goalkeeper. So he knocks the goalkeeper off balance, Duran goes to the floor, and then it falls to Matty Cash. And at the time in the ground, it was a very, very delayed reaction, because we all thought that the ref was going to give a foul. The ref gave the goal. Nobody likes extra time or penalties. Nobody. I don't think I've met a single fan that likes penalties or extra time. There's no enjoyment whatsoever. It's just pure nerves, pure panic, pure sickness. It's a horrible, horrible feeling. And it was definitely one of those times. I remember, and all I thought about when we went to penalties was Jed Steer, when he pulled off 2 penalty saves. And the Lille player steps up, he takes the penalty, and Emi saves it. And that really did take me back to when Jed Steer saved Mason Holgate's penalty. It was one of those deja vu moments for me, because I was there, and it was such a good moment, because the crowd really did love Emi Martinez just shushing the Lille fans.
The Emi Martinez, the first save, thinking he got sent off, and he didn't get sent off. His red card didn't carry over, but he got suspended.
We all thought he was going to get sent off because of the goalkeeping rule in shootout, where the yellow cards cancel out and things. We thought he would have been off, and we thought that luck weren't really on our side because the ref had it in for Martinez that day, and the commentators during the game after wasn't really that happy with him too. And he certainly did have a reputation, but the reputation wasn't his doing. It was just a retaliation of what other fans had said to him, of the abuse. So when the ref blew the whistle and we'd won the game, it was just all a sigh of relief and just excitement and ecstasy, really. It was great. Scored every single penalty in the shootout. It was looking really, really good. And we had a very big chance to win the shootout. And Leon Bailey takes it and Chevalier saves the penalty. And I just think, okay, they're still in this, they're fighting. It's basically neck and neck now. And Lille have the penalty, steps up, and then Emi Martinez saves.
And then the final penalty save, the absolute limbs in that away end.
The way it happened was just an indescribable feeling for me, because if you would have taken a script of the exact turn of events that happened that day and you'd have given the script to a film director, they would have gone, we're not making that, it's unrealistic. It's an unrealistic film, no way. And it definitely happened that day. I mean, it was one of those turn of events that I wished it didn't happen, but the way it happened made it all worthwhile for me. It was a great moment.